Awesome. All right, well, let's get started. Welcome, everybody. My name is Katie, and I work at the Sacramento Public Library, where books are just the beginning. Thank you so much for joining us for Midday Yoga, and we're so excited to offer this program to you and to have local yoga instructor Kirsten Johnson with us today, and we'll get to her in just a moment, but first I wanted to mention a few things. So the first is that I will be monitoring the chat for the duration of the program. Should you have any questions or comments, you can go ahead and share them there, and I will make sure to check them out. Next is that if you're having any audio related issues, please exit the program and re-enter. Typically, we find that this will solve that problem. If you need closed captioning at any point during the program, you can click the live transcript button at the bottom of your screen. You'll click that, wait just a moment, and then you'll see the closed captioning pop up and you can follow along. And then I did want to share that I'm going to be sending out a short survey later this week with a link to next month's midday yoga session, so you can register for them. So keep an eye out for that email, and please feel free to share your thoughts with us about the program. We always appreciate hearing from you. And finally, this program is being recorded and will be shared to our YouTube channel, which is under Sacramento Public Library. So you can go ahead and find it there at the end of the week and either follow along again if you'd like to do the exercises one more time, or you can share it with a friend. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn things over to Kirsten. So Kirsten, take it away and please enjoy.
All right, thank you and welcome everybody. Thanks again, Sac Library, for having this series. It's a 30-minute practice. Even though we only have 30 minutes together, this is your time. So I invite for you just to, set aside anything that you had going on before, anything that you have going on after, and just really have this time. Even if it's just to, cameras off, you could be eating your lunch. As long as you're breathing and doing it intentionally, it's all good. It's all yoga, your connection. So this today practice is focusing on our head and our neck. So if you have any neck sensitivity, please be aware, move within your own range, move within a place that doesn't cause you any injuries. Please be mindful of what you can and what you are able to do. So if you can't do it, don't do it. All right. Since it's going to be a short practice, let's start standing up. Oh, maybe you've been seated and sitting all day or driving or whatever you got going on. And so just take a few moments, a few seconds, just to start to move any way that feels like you could just start to shake off and to come into whatever's coming on. So you could shake. Maybe you want to stretch, long. Maybe you want to bend over, do a little forward fold. Whatever is going to give you that shaking it all off and then coming back into a present stance. We'll come back into a mountain pose. So your feet can be maybe hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider, coming grounded into your feet. Lifting all the way up to your crown, and let the shoulders, just hands, relax. And if it's okay, close down your eyes. Throughout this series of yoga with you, I've planned some wonderful, wonderful sessions where we'll explore different types of yoga. We'll investigate and be curious on different areas of the body. So right now, just be curious about your breath. Inhale. Open your mouth, release and let it go. And if it feels right for you, maybe even close down your eyes, feel the weight of your feet and the lifting up of the crown. Feel that breath come in and release. A few more times like that, or maybe you choose to start to breathe in from the nose and exhale from the nose. Just coming and settling into your breath. Coming, settling into your practice. Settling into this moment. Remember, this is your practice. We only have quick time, so just be present for whatever comes up right here, knowing you can return again and again right here. Today, we're going to incorporate a little bit of Kemetic yoga into our neck warm-up. Kemetic yoga is a practice that originated in Kemet, or in Egypt. And so we'll inhale and we'll bring our arms all the way open up wide. Maybe you want to bring your feet together or leave your feet apart and just bring your hands to your heart. You can start to set your intention for how you're going to spend the next 25 minutes or so right here. Take one more breath here and release. All right, just for our kinetic warm up, we're gonna bring our hands in front of our chest. So your hands are gonna be facing your chest. Elbows are gonna come out wide. And then have your right hand come on top. Lift up through the crown. So feel yourself really exalted. We're moving to this kinetic flow of immortality. So go ahead, breathe in, turn your head over to the right. So just your neck, keep that length of the crown all the way there. Breathe here. Now slowly start to open the arms up, keeping that length. Feel the shoulder blades come together. Keep the head and neck going over to the right. Bend your elbows and start to look over at your right hand. Breathe here. Breathe in. Ah. All right, bring the right hand to cover the heart once again. And then back down to your mountain pose. We'll do that on the other side. Okay, breathe in. Come on, breathe your hands all the way up long. Hands come back down to the heart once again. This time, the left hand's gonna come to the front. Right hand's gonna come by your heart. Both are facing the heart. Feel the crown lifted up. Feel the grounding in your feet. This pose is all about feeling the length, the life that flows into your body, being connected with your breath. Open up the arm, turn your head over to the left this time. Relax your shoulders away from your ears as the crown lifts up. Open the arms wide. And then bend the elbows, start to lift, gaze over at your left hand. Feel the elbows come in as the shoulder blades start to squeeze together. Breathe. And then let that come back and cover the heart. All right, so that was just a little bit of Kemetic flow. Kemetic yoga came from Egypt. That predates the Indian yoga. All right, so let's shake that all out. Shake that all out, shake that all out. All right, so the rest of the practices are either gonna be seated in a chair or you could be seated on your mat. So I'm gonna start seated in the chair and then I'll come down to seated on the mat. Don't worry, you can find a comfortable seat wherever you are. You can either be seated in your car, but I mean, hopefully you're not driving and breathing. So find a comfortable seat. Once again, now we're gonna root from the bottom of our sit bones. That crown, that top of the head is gonna be long. And so we're gonna feel our breath now, once again, inhale. And now this time, just blow it all out. Let's bring a little bit of awareness to the face. So take a breath in and just fill up your jaw, fill up your cheeks, fill it all up, and then blow it all out. Just blow it all out. Maybe shake your head, shake your lips, feel the vibration of that. Do that one more time. Fill up, make it everything really big, and then blow it all out, shake it all out. All right. Come back until you seat on the ground. I know it feels funny sometimes in your head, but you know, it's a good way to just release all of that tension that builds up into the head. Now we're starting with the neck. I like to do this with a block. Since we're at the library, you can have a book on top of your head if you want to, so that you can really experience that long, long, long spine. Okay, hands can relax on your lap. If you want to, you can bring your finger and then move your chin back so that you can feel the length into the back of the neck. And notice if that made a difference. And if the block is a distraction, go ahead and just leave it. You remember, everything's an option, a suggestion. You're welcome to try, but you don't have to buy. Breathe in here. Find the length into the back of the spine. Bring a little bit of engagement into the lower core, the lower belly, as you root down and lift up. Okay, so stay here. Block can stay on top of the head. Block can be not in the feather. And we're going to rotate our neck over to the right again. Feel the length. Come back through center. Rotate the head over to the left. Oop, there goes my block. It works better when I have hair. Okay, back through center. There we go. Now let's do a little bit of side. So this is going to be up to your rotation of how your neck bends over. So bring the neck down, chin down to the chest, and feel the length in the back of the crown. All right. From here, roll the ear over to the right. Back through center. Then roll the ear over to the left. Back through center. So do that with your own breath. As you inhale, bring it over to one side. Oh, exhale back to center. Inhale over to the other side. Back to center. Take those shoulders, bring them up, back, down, and around so that you keep that length, keep the integrity of your long torso as you bring this movement back to side. Now, if it's okay for you, you can make a full rotation only if it's okay for your neck mobility. Otherwise, keep the side-to-side action going. Okay, when you're ready, bring the ear over to the left shoulder. And then take the left shoulders and bring them up, back, down, and around once again. All right, options, there's always options. You can take the left hand and set the palm of the left hand on top of the head. The left ear, the tip of your ear could be touching the tip of your middle finger. Elbow is coming out to the side. One option. Take the opposite hand, thumbs down, wrap it around to the opposite waist, and let the elbows come away as you gently stretch this side of your neck. You can move the head if it feels good to find all those nooks and crannies that want to be just have your attention. One more breath here. Exhale, release, and maybe just softly undo that whole thing as the chin comes back down to the chest. And then gently lift up the head. And then you know what I'm going to say? Shake it all out. Shake it all out. Because we got to do that on the other side. And we want all the sides to have their own experience. There you go. All right. Let's come back to the breath one more time. Feeling the breath in your seat. If you're on the ground and your legs are crossed, maybe you want to cross on the other side. Other different orientation. Or just find where you can find the length in your spine once again. Oh, yeah. And just like we were standing in that pose of immortality with the crown lifted and exalted, go ahead and find that in your seated posture right here. And release. Okay. Breathe in, lengthen. Exhale, let the chin come back down to the chest. And then start to make those movements side to side or all the way around. Remember, this practice is considered, we're focusing on neck and head, bringing some gentle movements to the neck and the head. All right, when you're ready, leave the head over onto the right side this time. I think we're on the right side, or whatever side you didn't do last time. All right. Take those ears, move them up away from the shoulders. So the shoulders are going to come down. Oh, yes. Opening up through the collar and feel the length on that side, opposite side of the neck. So stay here, or you still also have that option. Bring that same hand up and around to gently rest it on top of the head. So you're not pulling, you're just allowing, encouraging the breath to open up. Opposite hand can come up. And you can come into a wraparound where both elbows are coming away from each other. Now notice on your next breath in, what is the expression on your face? And can you allow some softness, a little bit of ease as you continue to breathe and open up this side of the body? There you go. One more breath here. You remember you can move your neck up and down and then bringing it back through center. And then lifting the head up. Oh, yeah, let's move that through. Oh. All right, one more stretch for the neck, and then we're going to come over down to the ground. You can either do it seated or as we do some other things. bringing your hands and interlacing them out wide. And then interlacing your hands, with your thumbs are going to come down. And then you're going to place your thumbs on the back of your neck. So almost to the base of your skull. You'll feel these little two muscles that come there, the base of your skull. So gently, with your elbows up, gently lift the head up. Oh, give your neck a little bit of traction. Remember, only do this to the point that it feels supportive, but not painful. Okay, and if you want to, you can create a little back bend by cradling the head into your palms, lifting up, expanding the arms a little bit and creating a little bit as the chest lifts up. So only do this, be careful. You're not throwing the head back, you're supporting it in your hands. Breathe here. All right. Bring the elbows and the head back to neutral. Bring the elbows in, so the elbows are going to be facing, rounding the corner, and just bringing yourself into a seated forward fold wherever you are. So if you're in a chair, you can bring your chest down to your thighs and let the head hang low. If you're on the mat and you're crisscross, go ahead and walk the hands forward, and then just let the head and neck hang low. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. Let the arms come all the way down to the ground if you're in a chair or in a seated fold. So the arms, shoulders, necks are all gravitating toward the earth, whether you're seated in a chair or seated on the mat. And just let the neck hang low right there. Okay, slowly walk the body back up. Long spine and shake it out. Yeah, move it through. Breathe here. Okay, next we're coming into a cat and cow. So you could do this seated in a chair, or you could do it on your mat. I'm going to actually come down to my mat, but if you're seated in a chair, by all means, it's going to be the same movement. I've got a little towel or rug. Always have your props available if you need to have some softness. It helps some support. And then for me, if you're dealing with any wrists, I like to have blocks underneath my hands. Come over to a tabletop if you are on your mat, but if you're seated, then you're just going to come to a long spine. Either way, whatever position you are, we're going to breathe in as the belly starts to extend and the head and chest starts to grow long. So the spine's going to come long, and you can feel yourself rooted into your seat if you're on a chair. This is going to be our cow. Exhale, round the back, round the shoulders. Let the neck come toward the chin, come toward the chest. And breathe out. This is our cow. So start to do this on with your rhythm, your pace of breath. Inhale. Remember, you're moving all the way through the base of your spine. Oh, and all the way to the tip of the crown. Breathe. Now, this cat-cow can look like this, or it can be some round circular movements. If you want to add in some extra extension and rotation for your neck, go ahead and do that. Play with your movement of extension all the way through the base of the tip of the tail to the crown of the head and all the way back down. Okay, then coming back to neutral spine and then sinking it back to a child's pose. So the hips are going to come back toward the heels, knees may come out wide, and you walk your hands forward. Head, neck comes either toward the earth, your mat, or to a block. However, if you're seated, we're just going to come into one of those forward folds again. So bring the legs out a little bit wider, root down through the seat, breathe in, and just let the belly rest on top of the thighs. Let the hands come all the way down. You may even walk the hands out a little bit. Come back into your breath. That's the connection. That's the yoga. of where you can feel what's going on inside. Offering yourself a little bit of love, not just reserved for Valentine's Day, but it's reserved for you every day. Breathe here. And we'll stay in this child's pose just for another 10 rounds of deep breaths. So it gives you an opportunity to really let the breath extend through your body, create some space. And then when you're ready, walk the hands all the way back up. And then come into a seat. We're going to do a couple of little gentle twists for the neck. So you can either be seated on the mat or seated in your chair. Actually, if you're on your mat, you can come into the twist lying down. And that's probably going to be the best thing. And I forgot about that because, yeah. So if you're on your back, come into a gentle twist lying down. So come back all the way down to your back, bring the knees into your chest, take some movement, and then either turn your neck over to one side. You can open up the arms like we did the post or the comedic post. And if you're seated on a chair, we're going to bring one hand over. You're going to bring your right hand, have your right hand come over to your left thigh. Your left hand is going to come behind you. Start to twist over to the left, rotating and looking over that back shoulder. Start to create some breath, some movement in the spine by lengthening with each breath in. Remember, it's subtle. And oh my goodness, exhaling and find all that space to find a little bit more room or just staying where you are. Okay, come on back through center. And then gently make your gentle twist over to the opposite side. However your gentle twist is, giving the neck a full release, the chin, softening the jaw, letting the ear come toward the shoulders. If you're on the ground. And breathe. One more time to find that space where you can breathe in and find some length, and exhale. Find and occupy that space or just stay. And then coming on back through center. Oh, move it all out, move it on out. So the next shape I'm going to recommend is going to be legs up the wall. And this is going to be a great release for you if you have a neck thing. The thing about the neck, and why I chose this is because we live so much time on our phones, on our computers. So sometimes it's good to have that release. So if you come into legs up the wall, you can do this with a chair too. Come find a wall, just get it closest to the wall. And it's that simple, legs up the wall. If you have a chair available and you want to do this with a chair, you can simply come and bring your body all the way down to the ground and just have your knees, bend your knees and have the shins and the feet come on top of the chair. Bringing it all the way down and just find this lift again through the spine. And knowing that by you creating this length in the spine is giving the head back to its natural alignment. Every inch that we have the head bent over the neck adds another 10 pounds. So if your head's normally 10 to 12 pounds, you're adding another 10, 20, sometimes even 30, 40 pounds by just moving. So just stay here, finding this length into the back of the neck. Sending it all the love, all the length, all the breath right here. Notice where you can allow to let the breath to just be present. Whatever's waiting for you will still be there. But can you be right here? We'll end the class in Shavasana, or you can stay right here where you are. And just the benefit of being with legs up the wall, we couldn't do it today because our class is only 30 minutes, but recommend it at night before you go to bed. 20 minutes legs up the wall gives your body that signal that it's time to rest, giving yourself that space and allowing the system to reset. Take a full breath wherever you are. Take an inhale and a full exhale. Today's mindful minute that I'll be reading from a quote from Coretta Scott King about love. Love is such a powerful force. It's there for everyone to embrace, that kind of unconditional love for all humankind. That is a kind of love that impels people to go into community and try to change conditions for others, to take risks for what they believe in. May this love that you've shown yourself for the last 30 minutes or so, that unconditional love for self, be shared for what we do on the practice, what we do individually. It's not only for us, but for the community. And with that, I say thank you, Ubuntu, what I am for, because we are. Next week, we are working on shoulders and arms. So yeah, it should be a fun one. It's going to be a little bit more active. So you might get a little sweat on that one. So yeah, and I'll turn it back over to Katie.
Well, thank you so much, Kirsten, for another wonderful session. I'm excited for the shoulders next week. That's always a good one to work out during the day. So thank you so much for joining us for our midday yoga. We hope you enjoyed it. And we invite you to explore additional exercise resources in the library collection, including yoga books and DVDs, which are available right now on Hoopla. We will be back next Wednesday at noon, so we hope to see you then. And to find a library location near you, sign up for a library card, or to learn about upcoming virtual programs for all ages, just go to www.saclibrary.org. So for Kirsten, myself, and the Sacramento Public Library, thank you so much and be well. Bye.